of Climate Change, 2025. We are now at session 3, Paralel 2. We are start to the first presentation entitled Institutional Levers for ESG, Evidence from Sustainability Committees, External Assurance and IDX Clusters Board in Indonesia.
Good morning. Today I will present our study on institutional levers for ESG in Indonesian listed companies. We analyze how sustainability committees, external assurance, and IDX listing board influence ESG risk scores. The goal is to identify whether this mechanism produce real sustainability impact or only symbolic compliance. Many Indonesian companies publish sustainability reports, but credibility remains uncertain. Some governance structures exist only on paper and do not reduce real ESG risk. This study identifies opportunities to make ESG governance more credible, focusing on external assurance and effective committee rules. Sustainalytics ranks firms based on unmanaged ESG risk. Higher scores mean higher risk. Even though most Indonesian list firms are on the main board, their average ESG score is still in the high risk category. The situation proves that regulatory compliance alone doesn't guarantee effective sustainability performance. There is a gap between what companies report and what they actually manage. Firms may comply with reporting requirements, but ESG risks remain high. We ask, which governance mechanism truly reduce ESG risk, and can institutional levers create substantive, not symbolic, sustainability outcomes? This study aims to test the effect of external assurance, sustainability committees, and IDA classification on ESG risk scores. We want to provide evidence on whether these mechanisms support better sustainability risk management and which one offer the strongest impact. We analyzed 118 Indonesian listed companies, excluding the financial sector. We collected ESG risk scores from Sustainalytics and identified whether firms had external assurance, sustainability committees, and their IDX board placement. We use multiple linear regression to test the influence of these variables. External assurance significantly reduces ESG risk scores. This means it provides real measurable value. Sustainability committees, however, do not show a significant effect, suggesting they remain largely symbolic. Firms on the main board have lower ESG risk than those on the development board. These findings prove that credible third-party assurance matter more than formal structures. Committees are not effective unless they have authority and resource. Meanwhile, companies with stronger governance maturity tends to manage sustainability risk better, as shown by main board performance. This study advanced ESG research by focusing on ESG risk instead of only disclosure. It provides evidence from policymakers to support external assurance. Investors can use ESG risk scores in decision making, and companies can strengthen governance to reduce unmanaged sustainability risk. In conclusion, external assurance is a substantive mechanism that improves ESG risk management. Sustainability committees need stronger capacity to move beyond symbolic roles. We hope this study supports future regulation and corporate practices. Thank you for your attention.
For the next presentation session, entitled Analysis Income and Risks of Potato Farming in the Highlands of Wonosobo Regency, Central Java, Indonesia. If you have any questions regarding the previous presentation, please kindly write them in the chat box.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Tianti. I'm from Department of Agribusiness, Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. My paper analysis income and risk of potato farming in highland of Wonosobo Regency, Central Java. Introduction. Potato are a leading horticultural commodity in Wonosobo Regency. Challenge of potato farmer in highland include high wind and difficulty irrigation. This condition can lead to risk of potato production and farmer loss. Based on the background, the objective of research to analyze the production and income risk of potato farming, to analyze income and profit of potato farming, and analyze the feasibility of potato farming in the highland Wonosobo. Research method. The study was conducted in Wonosobo Regency, chosen purposefully. Respondent consists of 40 farmers who regularly cultivate potatoes, selective simple random sampling. The research need primary and secondary data. Technique analysis, the production and income risk, calculate using coefficient of variation. Income, there is total revenue minus total explicit cost, and profit, total revenue minus total cost. And feasibility analysis using three indicators: RC ratio, labor productivity. Research and discussion. The characteristic of potato farmer: average age is 50 years. More than 75% have elementary school. Average experience is 28 years. The average land is 2,500 meters square. Based on the table 1, we can see the coefficient of variation, production and income of potato farming. This is 0.5. It means production and income potato farming in high risk category. Based on the table 2, we can see income and profit potato farming. And the income is 36 million and profit 30 million. Based on the RC ratio is 2 higher 1. It means potato farming in Wonosobo Regency is feasible. Based on the table 3, labor productivity is 566,000, higher daily wages, and capital productivity 129%, higher saving interest rate. It means potato farming in Wonosobo feasible. Conclusion. Potato farming in highland of Wonosobo is feasible but face high production and income risk. And farmer must implementing risk management through windbreak, better irrigation, and drought tolerant varieties is crucial to ensure sustainable farming.
For the next presentation session, entitled The Role of the Community in Conservation of the Bengawan Solo River to Anticipate the Impact of Climate Change. If you have any questions regarding the previous presentation, please kindly write them in the chat box.
Our research title is The Role of Community Conservation of the Bengawan Solo River to Anticipate the Impact of Climate Change, with member Trisni Utami, Raisli Humsona, Yuyun Sunesti, and Siti Yunaria. The problem statement. Problem addressed in the research is pollution in Bengawan Solo River in the form of garbage, waste, and flooding. Benefits: to find a conservation model for the Bengawan Solo River, to identify factors and find their conservation, the present conservation strategies for the Bengawan Solo River. Urgency of why this research is necessary: river as a source of life, maintaining the balances of the river ecosystem. If the ecosystem is damaged by human activities, human life will also be damaged. Solution offered by this research: the existence of the river conservation model, identifying factor and hinder the conservation, finding appropriate social strategies for conservation. What I did: pre-research or first observation, interviews, transcribing, data analysis, writing an article. What I found: the Bengawan Solo River conservation models, factor hindering conservation, social strategies that can be implemented. What makes this research different? The research focus on the social institution used the theory of sustainability goals located on Bengawan Solo River. Will contribute to providing a sustainability river conservation models, providing ideas for policy formulation, becoming a consideration for established public health facilities. Thank you.
For the next presentation session, entitled "See Policy Impact and Prospects of Indonesian Cocoa, an Analysis of Production, Land Use and Trade." If you have any questions regarding the previous presentation, please kindly write them in the chat box.
Hello everyone, my name is Dwi Putri Jenggi Furnunisa. I am from Agribusiness, Faculty of Agriculture, UPN Veteran Yogyakarta, and my title is The Dynamics and Prospects of Indonesian Cocoa Trade. I am also interested in around international trade, agricultural competitiveness, and also sustainable trade. Challenge for Indonesia cocoa in the climate change era is divided three. First is disruption of productivity due to climate change. Two is chain effect on trade. Disruption in the domestic supply chain result in decreased export value, fluctuating export value, and also increased imports. And three is impact of additional competitiveness challenge. So, several key opportunities are leverage climate smart agriculture (CSA) aim to three goals. One of them is sustainably increase productivity. Two, use trade trends as an economic indicator of adaptation to climate change. And three is responding to global policies, encourage more sustainable cocoa production. This slide highlights about relationship between trade and climate change is crucial. Why? Because first is strategic role of cocoa in the national economy. Two is crucial dimension of food security or stability and access. And three is urgency of understanding the trade and climate adaptation relationship. Research focus and contribution are first is analysis of cocoa commodity trade trends in Indonesia, cocoa export value, imports volume, and also trade balance. 2 is interpretation in the context of CSI and also food security. And 3 is how trade stability reflect to resilience of the cocoa farming. Method and data use quantitative descriptive analysis and data search from UN trade and also key indicator use export and import value, measure USD, export and import volume, measure tons and also trade balance and the forecasting until 2029. The main results are first is export trend dynamic of Indonesia cocoa export, and 2 is trade balance of competitiveness challenge about 2 factors, climate pressure and also global policy, and 3 is indicator of farming system resilience that trade data can be indirect indicator. Contribution of the research are first is new approach to climate impact analysis. Trade data can be proxy of climate disruption, and 2 is empirical evidence of farming system resilience, and 3 is strengthening of the role of climate smart agriculture maintaining the sustainability. Long-term contribution and impact are contribution to academic literature, especially interaction between economic, ecology, and also global trade. 2 is basis for decision-making and also policy. And 3 is conceptual model for future research in competitiveness. Thank you for your attention. If you have any question, please feel free to leave your comments in the discussion sections. I will be happy to stay connected with you, and you can reach me anytime at my email.
For the next presentation session entitled From Trust to Collective Action, Social Capital and Communication in Community-Based Threat Eradication, Grupio Canticus for Sustainable Development in Indonesia. If you have any questions regarding the previous presentation, please kindly write them in the chat box.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dininthias Patmaningrum from Universitas Blesmarat. It is a pleasure to be here today to share insight from our study titled From Trust to Collective Action, Social Capital and Communication in Community-Based Threat Eradication, or Grupekantikus for Sustainable Development in Indonesia. Rat populations are increasing not only due to biological factors, but also due to human behavioral patterns and weak social coordination. Technical efforts often fail because they are carried out in individual manners. Social capital-based rat control groups actually addresses the social dimension of this problem. This research has three opportunities. First, integrating social and ecological perspectives. Second, exploring local wisdom and community-based innovation pest control. Grobokanticus is deeply rooted in local culture and collective practices. Third, advancing participatory communication pest management. To understand the true value of Grobokanticus, it is essential to see beyond the technical act and explore the social force that sustain it. Analyzing trust norms and reciprocity in Grobokanticus matters because the social capital element drive collective action, strengthen community cohesion, and ensure the program long-term success. The study explores social capital and communication and Grobokanticus, revealing the social and institutional aspect often overlooked in the best management. It is also provide an evidence-based model for implementing community-based pest control, one that fits the Indonesian socio-cultural context. This research used qualitative detective methods located in Magelang, Central Java, conducted in May until June 2025. Data collection by in-depth interview, observation, and secondary data. Informant include farmers, farmer group leaders, and agriculture extension officers and pest observer officers. In Gropiocanticus, social capital operates through trust, reciprocity, and norms. Trust with unity, reciprocity, sustains solidarity, and norms guide cooperative behavior. For types of communication, interpersonal, group, organizational, and mass mobilize participation and strengthen collective coordination. This research expands the understanding that successful pest control depends not only on agricultural technology, but also on the quality of social relationships and communication processes within the community. Emphasizes that social capital plays a crucial role in the bridging social communication with the collective action outcomes. This research contributes to three aspects. Theoretical contributions, integrating the concept of social capital and community communication. Empirical contribution, first evidence on the importance of communication and building social capital. Practical contribution, strengthening farmer empowerment strategies and community-based policy guidelines. Thank you for your kind attention. I hope this study contributes to a deeper understanding of community-based agricultural practices, particularly in local wisdom-based pest management. I would sincerely appreciate your valuable feedback and suggestions for further improvement. Thank you.
For the next presentation session, entitled Indonesia's Rice Exports in Global Market, A Comparative Advantage Perspective, 2013 to 2023. If you have any questions regarding the previous presentation, please kindly write them in the chat box.
Hello everyone, I am Malankia Plastika from UPN Veteran Jakarta, Indonesia, and I'm going to present my study entitled With the Indonesia's Rice Export in Global Market. This research explored Indonesia's position in the international rice trade and its competitiveness in international market. And as we know that Indonesia is one of the largest rice producers in the world, just below China and India. And however, it still relies on imports to meet the domestic demand in Indonesia. And that graph shows that Indonesia's rice exports remain low and fluctuate, reflecting weak and unstable competitiveness in the global market. And we know that Indonesia has strong opportunities to enhance its rice competitiveness by using modern technologies like drones and precision farming, and the production efficiency can increase significantly. As part of the Asian country, Indonesia can expand rice export and effectively compete with the other nations. And the rice trade is vital for Indonesia's food security and economic growth. The agriculture sector still plays a major role in the national economy of Indonesia, and strengthening rice performance can reduce food insecurity and improve the farmers' sustainability. The study used secondary data from the UN country database from the period of 2013 to 2023, and the analysis applies for three competitiveness indicators. They are RCA, ISP, CEP, and AR. And I use secondary data, then I analyze it, and from these methods, I identified Indonesia's rice export performance and ways to improve its competitiveness. And the results were used to give ideas from the policies that can help improve Indonesia's rice competitiveness in the global market. The results show that Indonesia's rice export competitiveness is still low, as seen from RCI, ISP, and CEP values below the global average, and the AR value, however, spiked in 2017 due to lower imports and short-term market change. And this research showed that improving Indonesia's rice competitiveness can support food self-sufficiency, and the technology and innovation help farmers produce better and faster. This can also strengthen Indonesia's position in the global market within the other countries. And the study contributes to academic research, policy development and the social impact on the people. It provides new data on Indonesia's rise rate competitiveness, and the findings can guide better policies and improve farmers' welfare through the technology and market access. And thank you very much for your attention. I hope the study encourage more discussions on how Indonesia can strengthen its role in the global rice market. And I truly appreciate this opportunity to share my research with you. And I hope it can provide useful insights for the future studies and policy.
Thank you so much for your attendance and participation. We will now have a 15-minute break. The next session is session 4. Will begin at 5:30 p.m. Indonesia Western Time. So all participants, see you after the break.